show you how to mix a turquoise color. Just a little lesson here. I just think it's really important how to mix your own colors instead of having to buy them, because that can get very expensive, especially if you're not selling your paintings and making money from it. Okay, so you can use a couple different blues. You really kind of want to stay away from ultramarine blue. You want to use either phthalo blue or something like a cobalt blue. You want to stay away from blues that have a red undertone. So what we're going to do first is we are going to make a green by taking our blue and mixing it with a little primary. Your best bet is to actually stick with primary colors, but I just really like cobalt blue. Okay, so we're going to do equal parts of those. And this is how we're going to get our turquoise. We're going to start with the green. And what I recommend doing is either using a palette knife. I'm just going to use this brush. I don't even know what the heck it is. It's a round. I'm not sure what size. It's a #1 round. I think this is Master Touch brush. And instead of, stirring it together like that, you can do that. But what I like to do is actually pull the colors together. That way you're not going to waste as much, and you really don't need this much paint, but I do need this much paint because I'm going to be doing a flow painting, and I'll also show you how to do that, how to mix it with just water and not using a medium, because I think that especially when you're on a budget, doing those flow paintings, while they're really cool to watch, they can get very expensive because you use so much paint, and those mediums that you buy, the flow mediums, are very expensive. So here's our green. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep adding green and yellow to our blue until we get the perfect turquoise color, and also white. So we're going to be working on the tone of the color first, and then we're going to be working on the hue, which would be, a hue is like a shade, or when you're mixing in white, you would call that a hue. All right, so that doesn't really matter so much. I don't know why I'm telling you that. So we're going to add a little bit more yellow onto our palette here, a nice bright primary yellow, and a bit of our blue. And so I like to have the blue and add the other colors into the blue, because me personally, I like more blue than the other colors. I don't really need to mix all of these at once. I'm just gonna kind of show you on here. So I'll just take some of that and get our blue, more of our blue, because remember we want this to be turquoise. And we're gonna pull. No, that looks not turquoise yet, so you're gonna add more green. And you can kind of keep going, along the thing here. So right now we have just kind of, it looks almost muddy right now. That's okay. It's not turquoise yet. I am going to add more blue because I like mine to have lots of blue. And the reason I have so much color here is because, like I said, I'm going to be using this for the flow. So it looks kind of purpley right now, but that's okay. That's because I think this actually, cobalt blue, does sort of have a red undertone. But if you use ultramarine, this is going to be way more gray looking. That one does not work for turquoise at all. So we're going to add some yellow to give it more of that green, and now we're going to start working on the hue and lightening it, because I really don't want this dark of a color. So we'll just put some white out onto our palette, and then we're gonna start lightening this. I usually like to just pull it into the color like this, instead of just globbing it right on top of there. That's not what I want. And then until I'm satisfied with that color, with the tone of the color, I like more blue in this. And you just keep going until you get that like perfect shade. Maybe I do have some like more blue in there. So that's kind of looking like what I want it to look like. Sort of this sort of, maybe I want a little more like yellow in there. A little more white. And then you just keep mixing that until you get the perfect shade. It's coming a lot. I like it a lot better on the film than I do in person. So that is how you're going to get your turquoise color. Yeah. Okay, let me just show you really quick with some ultramarine. I don't have that much left, but, or not ultramarine, but some phthalo. Okay, some phthalo blue. Take that, and this is what I mean by undertones and how you're going to get so we have that, and how you can tell the undertone of a color, we can lighten it first, that's fine, is by adding white to the color, or the hue, I guess I should say, the undertone of it. So you're going to put the white into this, and you'll be able to tell that this has a green undertone by doing that. And it really helps if you actually have like the other color, you know, right next to it. I didn't mix the other one with just white, so obviously I wouldn't be able to show you that. This is kind of another way you can make a turquoise color. So we'll make the lighter color blue first, pulling these two things together, and then we can just keep adding a little bits of yellow to it until you get the exact amount you want. And I don't ever like to put the color right on top of the other color, just because what happens when you do that, you can use cadmium yellow too for this, not just primary. I'm running out of this one, so I might end up having to do that. So what you're gonna do is just take a little bit of the yellow, and you're just gonna add it until you get the turquoise color that you want. So you can kind of see some of the turquoise in there now. And it really doesn't take much of the yellow when you do it this way. I actually like doing it this way better with this tone. I just didn't want to use this one because I don't have that much of it. I like the color it gives a lot better. And then if you want it lighter, you would just keep lightening it. So this is the way you can do it, by just doing the yellow, the phthalo, and titanium white. Instead of mixing a green and then adding your blue, or adding the green to the blue, you just do the blue with the yellow, and you just keep mixing it until you get the perfect turquoise, which I think this is quite pretty. And then I'd probably lighten it up a little bit with some white to make it a little bit lighter. Anyway, so that's how you do that.